Okay, and we will give it just another 2 minutes and then we will begin.
Okay. Oh, my camera.
Mm. Okay. All right. And even though we don't have anyone logged in here directly, it's possible that there could be someone on YouTube or Facebook. And so we are going to go ahead and begin since it is being recorded. My name is Leah Irvin, and Micah Alvarez is here with me to help me out. And we definitely appreciate anyone who is out there listening because this information is important. We are the Trio Education Opportunity Center, and we're here to assist any students who are interested in continuing their education, whether if it be a 2-year, a 4-year, a career and technical ed school, then we are here to help. Uh-oh. And what we're going to help talk about tonight is how to pay for college. So we're going to explore the options of what types of financial aid are actually out there available for students. Where can that aid be found? When should the students apply for the financial aid, and how to navigate that process, because it can be tricky and a lot of times it can be intimidating, but it is absolutely possible. There are different types of financial aid. You have federal financial aid, or the FAFSA, which is the free application for student aid. There are grants, federal loans, there's work study, and then there are scholarships available by state, educational level, and business programs and organizations. And we're going to discuss each of these. And I do want to point out that if you have any questions, you are welcome to call our offices at 501 916 3470 or reach out to us. Okay, the FAFSA, keyword free application for student aid. It is provided through the federal government, and there is no cost to apply. And we are more than happy to assist you with this process because there have been a lot of changes this year. So we want to be there to help. So money to pay for college or technical school that's provided from the federal government is financial aid. And that can come in the form of grants, loans, or work study. And who can get federal student aid? A U.S. citizen or permanent resident, high school graduate or GED holder, an eligible degree or certificate program that qualifies for financial aid. You need a valid Social Security number. And if you are currently already in school, you need to have satisfactory academic progress in the college or career school. And how much federal aid is available for you? Well, generally, it depends on your financial need. The financial need is determined by the Student Aid Index, the SAI, and the cost of attendance, the COA. And the SAI is new. It previously was the EFC, the expected family contribution, but it is now formulated a little differently. And it's called the Student Aid Index. And it comes from what you report when you are filling out the FAFSA application. And then the cost of attendance is the tuition, the fees, room and board, transportation, anything that is related to the cost of attendance to that school. The federal Pell Grant this year is $7,395. You could qualify for up to that amount, depending on your student aid index. Will depend on if you get the full amount, a partial amount, or if you do not qualify for that amount at all. And then loans, the first year's loans, $5,500 subsidized and unsubsidized combined. And we can talk about that more in a moment. And then work study is you would apply through your school campus, and it would depend on what's available through that school. And it's minimum wage typically and part-time. The great thing about work study, though, is that it takes into account the fact that you are a student, and they'll work with you in that regard. All right, so how do you apply for federal aid? You apply through the FAFSA. Simple as that. It's the free application for student aid. You can go to studentaid.gov. Typically, it opens in October, but this year, because they did make some changes to it, it opened December 31st. And there are a few changes that are good to know about. It's shorter. It has less questions. One very important thing, though, is that the parents and the students must log in separately to complete their sections of the application. And both the parent or contributor, because the new term this year is contributor, and the student need to create an FSA ID, and that's a federal student aid ID. And it normally can take up to 3 days of processing time. So it's a good idea to start in advance. So that way you have plenty of time for it to process, and you can start working on it as those verifications come through. Another difference that this year is they will be taking into account your assets and any untaxed income, such as if you have a small farm or a personal business. Also, this year, you can list up to 20 colleges. In the past, you've been able to list up to 10. This year, it gives you a little bit wider variety. So if you are undecided and you want to shop around to see who makes the best offer to you, then you can list up to 20 colleges, and your FAFSA will be provided to that school for them to formulate what you may qualify for. Also, this year, they have a section on there for unusual circumstances, because sometimes there are things in life that are not typical, and you may need to talk with your school about whether or not if you need to file for these unusual circumstances or specific circumstances related to your situation. And the school will use professional judgment to make a decision on those circumstances. And then also, it's important to be patient, because it may take a few days for it to process, and you want to be diligent and turn and come back and look and check your emails and check back in with your advisors at the college or the school that you're planning to attend, to always follow up to make sure that everything is moving along in process. The TRIO offices are here to offer the free assistance for you. Hello. Okay, and I did just let someone in, Micah, I believe.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I can't see. I
Yes.
see you, but I don't see anyone else. So that's
Hello, Yolani. She's one of our followers. Oh, Mamas Unidas.
okay.
Thank you
Hello.
for joining us.
And if you have any questions along the way, I've only covered a few slides, but if you have any questions or if you'd like for me to go back and cover any of that, just let me know. Okay. All right. And so contact the TRIO offices to get a free assistance in completing your FAFSA. If you have questions or if you're unsure, if you need additional assistance, or if you have started it and you're not sure if you have answered all of the questions correctly or received all of the emails, then we are more than happy to help you with those questions. And so there are 5 different sections of the FAFSA, and there are different things that you might need in each section. Section 1 is the section for student information, and it is going to ask you basic information, your name, your address, your household information, where you live, what county you live in, how long you've lived in the state. It's also going to ask you what high school or training program that you've attended. And then in section 2, it's going to be the student financial information, and that's the student's financial information. So it will ask for your student tax information. And I will add at this section that there is a part where the application will ask for you to agree for the IRS to import your tax information to the FAFSA. And if you do not agree to this, then you will be ineligible. And so both you and your contributors will need to agree to have your tax information imported from the IRS. So that's important. If you find yourself not making it past this step, then you may want to look and be sure that you have given agreed to allow the IRS to import your tax. So also, it's going to ask for any assets if you have a private farm or a small business. And then it's going to ask you for your college information. If you have never attended, if you're a current student, where you would like to attend, what schools will be listed. Then step 3 is if the student is married, it will ask for the student's spousal information. Step 4, the parent information. And again, keeping in mind that the word contributor is going to be what's used this year, because if you are with your parent, your grandparent, a step parent, if you have a guardian, it's just a change in the language. It's going to broaden the definition of parent by changing the word to contributor. So it's going to ask for the parent's basic information, the parent household information, and then also the parent will have to give access from the IRS to import the information into the FAFSA. And the great thing about this is it takes away a little bit of the uncertainty of making sure that that information is correctly transferred from the IRS tax documents into the FAFSA, because it will transfer that in there for you. There is an option to do so manually if necessary, but you will have to give permission for that information to be transferred over to be eligible to continue completing the FAFSA. Okay, and then step 5, any other parent information, which could possibly be a step parent or guardian if your parents are married to other people, then you will need to provide that information. And the application will lead you along this way. So as you go through, you'll have an idea of what it will require. And if you have any questions, you can come to TRIO and we can help you out with that. But the documents that you need to summarize on that is the FSA ID account, both the contributor and the student, your taxes for the 2022 year will be the taxes required for the current FAFSA, your social security number or the ITIN number for undocumented parents, any assets outside of what will be listed with your taxes, a listing of colleges, and then you will need a working email. And if you have a school email, you want to make sure that you do not use that. Use your personal email, because as soon as you graduate, you will not have access to your school email. So you want to make sure that it is an email that you will have access to.
And also, Leah, for the parents who complete the taxes with 18, they will need to have the passport currently no expired, or the consular identification, and those documents need to be good. And also, we have a question on the chat.
Okay.
She say that if we say what low income means, if we know the limit. And I don't know if you want to answer the questions, or do you want me to answer it?
Well, now that's what the student aid index will figure whenever you complete the application, because the low income will be based on the number of people in your household. It is going to be many factors that's what that's why they changed from the expected family contribution to the student aid index, because it is a formula that they use to find out where you fall on the scale.
Yeah, and also if you let me add something, Yolani, you are understanding what we are saying, right? Uh, One thing also, doesn't matter if you how much you make. It's very important to complete the FAFSA, because other scholarships will require the student to have privilege complete the FAFSA, okay? And doesn't matter if the student receive a financial aid through FAFSA or not, but the FAFSA need to be completed in order to receive college financial aid from college, financial aid from the state, from Arkansas, for example. You need to first complete the FAFSA, okay?
Yes.
Because some families think, oh, I make a lot, my income is so high that my student will not receive FAFSA, but doesn't matter. It's good to do it, because more scholarships are based on FAFSA.
Right. That's a great point. That's a very good point, Micah. Thank you. Okay. All right. So what do I do after I have completed the FAFSA? Well, this is where you would watch for a response by email. You want to confirm that your FAFSA was processed. Double check it to make sure that all of the information is correct. If there are mistakes, this is the time that you want to correct them and resubmit with the corrected information. Watch for emails or letters from the schools that you are considering, because you want to know any additional paperwork that they may ask or require. And it's important to keep that paperwork, because it's possible that they, at a later point in time, they may ask for documents to be provided, and you want to have those on hand to make the process easy, because sometimes they do that. And then review any award letters and accept the aid. If you receive the aid, you still do have to go in and accept it. And you want to be sure exactly what is happening with that, and keep an open line of communication with the school that you are choosing to attend. So each school is going to tell you how much aid you qualify for and what you can get, and that gives you the opportunity to accept or decline. Right. And so after you complete the FAFSA, if you decide to take a federal loan, you will need to complete the loan entrance counseling, and that is provided through the studentaid.gov website, or you may do it through the financial aid portal of the school that you choose, which that financial aid portal will lead you to your FAFSA application, and you'll find it in the site itself. If you have any trouble finding that, TRIO can help. And then you'll also complete the master promissory note, which that gives you an opportunity to read through all of the details of exactly what it is that you are accepting. And because knowledge is power. It's important to know what exactly it is that you're signing up for. So then that way you can stay on top of it all. And then work study, you can check through your financial aid office or through the college to find out any job opportunities. And this may give you an opportunity to work in your field or just to develop more of the college experience. Micah, you have anything you want to add?
Oh, it's perfect.
And then scholarships. Are there any other questions about the FAFSA at this point? Because I want to talk quickly about scholarships availability and how that works out. Because like Micah said, probably all scholarships require you to complete the FAFSA because they want to see what other aid you might be qualifying for. But there are scholarships through state. There are educational level scholarships, and then businesses, programs, and organization scholarships are available out there. There are a lot of scholarships. Merit-based scholarships are academic or merit-based are awarded to recognize outstanding academic performance, talents, and leadership abilities. And then need-based scholarships are awarded to those who demonstrate a financial need. Some of the state scholarships are more common and easy to find. And they're both need-based and merit-based. And they pay particular attention to applicants pursuing certain high-need fields. And that would be like you could get a scholarship through the Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act for welding or CDL. Arkansas Scholarship Lottery has the scholarship, academic challenge scholarship, I apologize, available. Again, you do have to apply for it. And then once you have applied, you have to accept it. Some of the college and universities offer some sort of scholarship, and you have to attend that school. So if you started attending school at Arkansas State and you received a scholarship there, but then you decided to move to UA Little Rock, then that scholarship is not going to follow you. So keeping that in mind. So some colleges require you to complete a separate applications for those scholarships that are local to their institution, and then others automatically consider you. So it's important that you know that, and you get on their website and you find out as much information as possible. And then some of the businesses and programs and other organizations include scholarships that might be based on your ethnic background, medical disabilities, community service or service learning projects that you have been a part of, various programs or religious affiliations. If you have artistic abilities, you could apply for the THEA scholarships. If there are environmental causes, single parent scholarships, there really are many out there. So it's important to get out there and do your research and find out as much information as you can. And where can you start? Well, you can start at the financial aid office of the college that you're looking to attend and look at their website. Find out what do they have available? What are their deadlines? What do you need to turn in to apply for it? Do you just apply? Or is there some requirement for an essay or a grade point average? And then there are some great sites like scholarships.com, fastweb.com, goingmerry.com. And then we have our Trio EOC mobile app. And it's really a great idea if you go into your either your Google Play or your App Store on Apple and look for EOC at Little Rock, because our public outreach manager posts things in there. There are a lot of resources available in that app. And if you go in there, you can spend a lot of time finding out what's available and where and when some deadlines are. But that's a great resource for you but you will have to get the mobile app EOC at Little Rock. So when do you want to start applying? Well, really, you can apply year round. And the best time is always going to be now. So make sure that you conduct searches regularly to ensure that if there's anything that's been recently added or, if there's something new that, because these scholarships sometimes can come from people who have attended school there, or if there is like an athlete that graduated from that school, they may look back and provide a scholarship after they have graduated. So it's always important to keep looking and see what new ones have popped up. And then a large majority of the scholarship deadlines are actually within the months of February to April. So you can see by looking at this graph that there are scholarships throughout the year, but February, March, and April are when the biggest numbers of deadlines come about. So, and with the FAFSA not opening until December this year, it will be a little bit more challenging, but that trio is here to help. Do we have any other questions, Micah?
Yes, there is a question on the YouTube.
Okay.
Let me turn it out because I have the YouTube. I'm sorry. A
Oh,
question on
you're
the
fine.
YouTube. They ask if a parent who do not have an 18, a parent who do not have a social security number may complete the FAFSA too. And I was answering the question for that. I will tell this lady to call me tomorrow and we will talk about it.
Okay. Yes, but there are parts of the FAFSA that they do say to go ahead and have your parent or contributor create an FSA ID.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, you can complete the FAFSA with 18, but of course, you do not use the number, 18 number, okay, instead of the Social Security number, because the two numbers are very similar, look alike, but they are different. You will never use 18 number instead of a Social Security, but of course, a student who has parents that use IT to complete taxes, they qualify for FAFSA too.
Okay. So yes, there are changes that have taken place, but it's always important to go and find out. Don't just decide that, well, this isn't for me. It's important to ask and try and try. And I did want to go ahead and say that the Pell Grant is grants that are based on financial need, and they don't have to be repaid so long as you meet the requirements of that grant. And then just to recap a little bit, that student loans are loans that are borrowed, and they must be repaid with interest. And then work study is a job that lets you earn money while you're in school. So those are the three different types of federal student aid, just to kind of recap on that. And then also a little bit about the process, to just touch base on this again. Students and contributors will need to create an FSA ID, and you'll need your social security number, a valid email, and your driver's license if applicable. It will ask you information about your taxes from the year 2022. And so it's always easier if you have that information gathered up together in advance. So whenever you start filling out the application, then you have it on hand. And you will be required to grant access for the IRS to transfer your tax information over into the FAFSA. Even if you did not file taxes, in the United States, you'll still have to grant access to that for the application to move forward. And then while you're in the process of filling out the application, reach out to a TRIO representative to assist you. So that way, if you have any questions, you can get the help that you need.
We have a
And
question on the chat, Leah.
okay, great.
It is Iolani's son. He said that he's in 10th grade. He's a student on the 10th grade high school, and he's asked if you are reading the question, right? If he can apply now for scholarships or wait until the last year of high school.
In the 10th grade, you could go ahead and start finding scholarships. There are different scholarships that are available for the grade level. Like it knows that there would be certain things that would be available specifically for 10th graders because they would want you to start working on the qualifications and the requirements at this time. So it wouldn't be granted to you until you went to school. But there are, and we have a book that we could share with you if you wanted, that gives you a checklist for when you're in the 9th grade, a checklist in the 10th grade, an 11th grade, and then a 12th grade checklist.
Yeah.
So I know that question, that answer is a little bit wonky, but yeah, it would really just depend. It depends on what it is that you're looking for and what school you're looking to attend. But it never hurts to get started early. So then that way you can get these questions answered.
And I think that this student is a talent search student, right? I don't remember his name, but I think he's on talent search on
Yes.
Sherwood High School, I think. I
Okay.
am not sure.
Yeah. And if you're in the 10th grade and there's a talent search in your school, then you could be working with the TRIO talent search program. And feel free, please, to call our offices with questions for the talent search, because I normally work with adults 19 plus. And so I feel like I would need to do a little bit more research to be able to answer a question for someone who's in the 10th grade.
Oh, Sylvan Hills. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Sylvan Hills. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's from the TRIO family.
Great. Yeah, and it's never too early to start researching the schools that you're interested in attending. Find out what their requirements are, what type of scholarships that institution offers specifically, what are some other scholarships that might fall into your line of study, because it depends on what you're studying as well. If you're studying the arts, if you're studying healthcare, each of these different things will have their own information and details that are going to go with their programs.
Checking, but I don't see more questions.
Okay. Yeah, the little bar that has the chat on it is covered with the live stream notification, and so I can't see any of that anyway.
Oh, okay, but not here, not in Facebook, or not in YouTube. I am checking all places, because people is watching this from different places, and I am making sure all the questions are answered.
Well, I definitely appreciate you very much, Micah, and I thank everyone for your patience with me, because this is new for me. I've done a Zoom presentation, but I have not live streamed or Facebook Live, or this is my first. So,
but you are doing it perfect, Leah. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. But, well, please, I don't think they're, yes. Okay. So I want to go ahead and say, empower your future through college. This is one of our students, this young lady here. She's actually doing very well, but we want to push forward any success. So all of our services are free. Application assistance to any college, help with financial aid applications, whether if it's a FAFSA, scholarships, if you have ever been to school and you have loan default, and or if you need total permanent disability, or if you are wanting to go back to school as a transfer, if if there's anything that you are unsure of and you do not already have a bachelor's degree, then the TRIO EOC offices can help. If you have questions, our number again is 501-916-3470. We also can help you with career exploration if you're not sure exactly what it is that you want to do. I've gone to school for a little bit, but I don't want to do what I started studying. What can I use this to get the most credits out of what I've already done? And then also we offer the AccuPlacer. We can give it to you 3 times for free in a year. And it's reading, writing, and math. And, that can help you find out also what are some of the scholarships that you may qualify for, or what schools that you are ready to attend. So, give us a call, let us help. And then we do actually have a Facebook presence and an Instagram presence. I think Sandra called them handles. The at centralar.eoc would be for Central Arkansas, and then the Delta is at eocdelta.ar or at Delta EOC2. And they cover the lighter yellow counties down here. Central covers Pulaski, Lone Oak, and Saline. The Delta covers these counties here. And then our North Central offices covers this up here in blue. And that's eocnorthcentral.ar or northcentralar.eoc. And please download our app at EOC@LR. You can download it at the Apple Store or at Google Play. And there really are some fantastic resources in there. Sandra has put a lot of work into it. But there's lots of information, any events that we have coming up, the contact information for our staff and our offices. So it's really just a great resource to stay on top of what's going on in this area. And I believe that is all that we have. So feel free to take a screenshot or a picture of this, so then you will have it later. If you want to scan that QR code, it'll go straight to the app to download. And I want to thank you, Micah. Is there anything that you would like to add, or are there any other questions?
I don't see questions. I am checking on all the places, but no more questions.
Okay. All right. Is there anything you want to add? And because if not, then I think we're finished.
No, I do not have nothing. I have nothing to add.
Survived. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank
We're
you.
here to help.
See you
Thank
tomorrow,
you.
Leah.
Okay. Thank you.